Kristina, I'm not even thinking about those six-figure remote jobs you share because, listen, I don't have a degree. And to which I replied, you don't always need a degree for a six-figure remote job. To which they reply, well, the ones that don't require a degree require 15 years of experience. To which I reply with a link to a role that pays six figures that doesn't require a degree and less than 5 years of experience. And then we stop. For context, I'm Kristina. I've spent over a decade in talent acquisition, and every single week I pull a list of remote roles to share with my community. Oh, and yes, I've worked remotely for over a decade. So let's get into the conversation today about remote roles that actually don't require a degree. Six-figure remote roles, to be exact. So here's what I'll tell you over the years. And I've noticed this in a couple of the industries in which I've worked. Um, these conversations around degree requirements have shifted over the years, and I see them continue to shift. And so the thought process, a couple of them, let's put it in a nutshell. If if you can do the job without a degree, then a degree is not required. That is the thought process many have adopted now. If you can do the job without a degree, then a degree is not required. And so then you got to be real honest in the conversations, right? In the conference room, we got to be real honest about what truly requires a degree. And what we started seeing as we pull back some of these layers is that we were hiring people suddenly to do jobs and slapping a degree required label on the job. Whereas the person who maybe just vacated the position or the person they're reporting to who once held that position never had a degree. We really had to start asking ourselves questions. What is the true purpose? And there could be multiple answers to this based on a lot of work and a lot of research I've done. What is the real reason we're slapping this requirement on this job description? So today, let's uncover some roles that don't require college degrees. We're going to talk about how many years of experience they require. And I want you to start looking at these titles because these titles exist at other organizations, right? So even if this particular role is not available by the time you watch this video, I want you to know that another organization, maybe a competitor of this particular organization, will likely hire for this position and not require a degree and pay a competitive salary. All right, so buckle up. We got a lot to cover today. All right, so Upstart is looking for a senior copywriter. Compensation, I'm just going to jump right to that. In the United States is $103,500 to $143,200. $103,500 to $143,200 for a senior copywriter at Upstart. Minimum qualifications, and these are the qualifications I want you to focus on first. 5+ years of professional experience writing consumer-facing copy across brand and growth marketing. 5, not 10, not 15. 5 years, right? Consumer-facing copy. Do you have that experience? Let's move on. 2+ years of experience in-house at a growth-focused consumer brand. Okay? There's some other bullets here in terms of technical experience. So they're looking for experience writing and collaborating directly within Figma. Do you have it? Right? If not, how do you get it? So if you're currently employed in a marketing role, is it a space where you can tap someone on the shoulder and maybe sign up for a project that leverages Figma? I don't know. Not my space, right? So start thinking about ways to get the minimum qualifications if you don't already have them. And they're looking for a portfolio that demonstrates strong CRM writing, right? Their experience writing for financial services or other complex products in regulated industries. Like, there are things that I want you to think about aside from what maybe you believe to be a degree requirement or 10, 15 years of experience. Many of you listening now either have this experience or you know someone who does. And again, this position is remote and it pays $103,500 to $143,200. Let me just say this because I know the question will come up. I am not the recruiter for any of these roles. I believe that sharing is caring. And so that is what I do here and with my email community every single week, sharing high paying remote opportunities. Listen, I've worked in this space long enough to know that these jobs and others exist. All right. So, quick recap: upstart, senior copywriter, 5+ years of professional experience writing consumer facing copy across brand and growth marketing, 103,500 to 143,200. No college degree required. Let's keep moving to number 2. All right, next up, Covera Health is looking for a talent acquisition partner. Some of you may think of this as a recruiter. Here's the thing: if you're in the space, you know the terms are often times used interchangeably. So 3 to 5 years of full cycle recruiting experience with at least 2 years of experience in the health tech space. That is a requirement. Beyond that, they're looking for some other experience, of course, proficiency with applicant tracking systems. If you've been in the recruitment space for a few years, you should have a good grasp of that anyway. Here they put greenhouse experience strongly preferred. Listen, once you've been in a couple of applicant tracking systems, I wouldn't let greenhouse get in the way of applying. It says strongly preferred. I wouldn't overthink that at all. And then they go into some pretty vague stuff like exceptional written and verbal communication skills. I would probably remove that, but this is not a video about me picking apart job descriptions. So here's the thing. Let's get focused, right? Minimum and maximum salary for this position ranges from $110,000 to $125,000, in addition to a discretionary bonus. Not abnormal. Again, 3 to 5 years of experience. And the one thing I want you all to be mindful of here is the 2 years of experience in the health tech space that is required. So that is a talent acquisition partner with Covera. Interested? Go ahead and submit your application for consideration. Certainly make sure that resume is tight. I don't need to tell you that. Make sure, your LinkedIn profile is tight. I don't need to tell you that because I've told you that in other videos, right? But I just want to make sure you are putting your best foot forward. So talent acquisition partner at Covera, compensation $110,000 to $125,000. We are plugging away, y'all. And the one thing I will pause here to say is that, again, these roles that I'm sharing for these specific organizations exist in other organizations for similar pay ranges, right? So don't get stuck. Don't get stuck if this particular role I'm referencing is no longer available. Keep moving. Who are their competitors, right? Do they have an open job now? If they don't, can you go ahead and connect with a recruiter and express interest anyway on the front end? Staff graphic designer and videographer for Grafana. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Grafana Labs. They're a remote first organization, right? But the focus of this video is on positions that don't require college degrees. So for this particular role, compensation is between $143,000 and $172,000, and this is in the U.S. The requirements for this position, and I love how they list it, right? It's not minimum qualifications or requirements. They say, what makes you a great fit? First of all, yes, to whomever wrote that job description. What makes you a great fit? A portfolio of videos, slide decks, and visual assets that communicate technical concepts. Significant experience. Pretty vague. I mean, who's defining significant? Significant experience designing high impact and beautiful digital or marketing solutions for SaaS, B2B, or technical products. proficiency, who's defining proficiency, in video editing and production, particularly with remote talent, effective storytelling, strong understanding of visual design principles, communication and collaboration skills, based in the US or Canada. No degree specified. And one thing they did not do, specify a certain number of years of experience. It appears that they believe that you can gather this deep exposure sometimes in a compact period of time, right? Who is to decide if the 7 years is needed for you to be able to do what's required in this role? No one made that decision. No one said it's 5 years. It could look different for everyone. Someone could have been fast tracked through their role, right? They could have, listen, duties get piled on every single day in many roles. They could have accomplished a lot in a condensed amount of time, more so than someone who's been in that position for 7 years. Do you know what I mean? And then there's some bonus points. They talk about bonus points for and fill in the blank, formal UX experience. So here's the point. There are some positions that don't give you a certain number of years of experience as required. And I love that. And I told you compensation, $143,000 to $172,000. Again, this is for a staff graphic designer and videographer. Bring your A game. If you feel like this is a position where you can, join the organization and excel, bring your A game with your tools and apply. And apply. Do not get in your own way. Like, oh, well, I only have. You think you can do the job? It's something you're interested in? Do you meet the requirements as they listed here? What makes you a great fit? Apply for the position. Don't get in your own way. Let's move on. Position number 4 is a technical project manager with Amplify. Amplify is a pioneering K through 12 education, focusing on next-gen curriculum and assessment. All right. I am not surprised that no degree is required. So I will tell you, for a lot of project manager roles, lately I haven't seen degrees required. And so required qualifications here, 2+ years of experience leading multiple projects simultaneously with the ability to work independently and lead teams. How many of us have that? How many of us have that? 2 years leading multiple projects simultaneously with the ability to work independently and lead teams. 3+ years of experience working with enterprise SaaS applications. NetSuite, Salesforce. Many have that. Many of you have been in Salesforce for a few years. Experience managing complex technology transformation initiatives. Notice there's no specific number of years required for that. Experience using Jira, Microsoft, and Google Workspace. Here's what I'll say about some of these. And we'll see this on job descriptions throughout, right? If you're part of the email community, you see this as well. There are ways to gain this experience using Google Workspace. Google themselves. Google has a number of training courses and opportunities to improve or to sharpen or to even start 101 level is what I should say, learning some of the tools. If you find that you're seeing Google Workspace as a requirement on the positions you are interested in, go ahead, Google Workspace training. Look up Google Works. It's crazy. Google has done a thing, but I digress. Look up Google Workspace training, free, low cost, right? Like you should be able to learn a few things pretty quickly. With Jira, Google training, there are platforms like Coursera, like LinkedIn Learning, like there you can learn so much on this internet these days. So don't let any of this get in the way. And for those who are going to ask if a PMP is required, under the preferred qualifications, project management certification, PMI, or equivalent is listed. Preferred, not required. Don't let it get in your way. All right, please don't let it get in your way. So for this particular technical project manager, gross salary for this range, or for this role, is $110,000 to $120,000. It is blah blah blah. It is eligible for discretionary bonus. So don't get in your way. That's the point. Don't get in your way. Go ahead and apply if you meet the required qualifications. And again, you can gain that experience pretty quickly and pop it on your resume, pop it on your LinkedIn profile. I wish you the best with this one. Let's move on to number 5. A lot of you have asked me about customer success manager roles. This is one of them. So Pulley is looking for a scaled customer success manager. I'm telling you, I see these often. I've seen pay ranging from probably $70K and up. This particular one requires 3 to 7 plus years in customer success, scaled tech touch CS, or lifecycle engagement roles. I would have probably just said 3+ years instead of 3 to 7 plus. But yeah, again, not me picking apart job descriptions, but this is how my brain is wired. This is what I've done for so long. All right, so because I don't want this video to be too long, I won't read through the entire job description and what's required. They have experience, skills, and bonus. Read through it. Compensation for this position, $100,000 to $155,000. I will tell you, listen, no degree is required here. You don't need 15 years of experience. If you are interested and you meet the experience required, right, of 3 to 7 plus years in customer success, you have the tools needed, or you can go quickly get the tools needed, right? Apply for the position. No degree is required, and I already told you how much they pay. If this video resonated, and you have found yourself stuck in your head about being able to qualify for a 6-figure remote position, my hope is that you will like the video. My hope is that you will subscribe to the channel and absolutely share this with a friend. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.